ever heard of Harry Houdini? Well, he wasn't like today's magicians who are only interested in television ratings. He was an artist. He could make an elephant disappear in the middle of a theater filled with people. And do you know how he did that? Misdirection.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Misdirection. What the eyes see and the ears hear, the mind believes.
Hey, how you doing, beautiful? How are things? Well, we live in interesting days, eh? The president talked there yesterday. Yeah. None of these leaders that the tariffs are putting, these countries, Canada will feel it the worst than the U.S. Yet their leaders on the right and the left, they won't feel any of it. None of the politicians will feel any of this pain. And this is in the progress of bankrupting Canada and bringing it down. So many people, they're wise people. I consider Joe Rogan wise, different ones, Theo, Tim, different ones in the world as wise, but they are asleep. I'm sorry, Joe Rogan. You put kind of like a crushed blind love into ones that you shouldn't. Just saying. You shouldn't trust anyone, especially these ones that they have two faces. Yet you tend to ignore them, but a lot of people do. Because they don't want to see that these leaders, these ones that they believe and put hope and trust for greater future and different things, aren't playing them and fucking with them, knowing that there's a decade of real hardship that repeats every 100 years. And it's coming, and they know it. There's this cycle. And they use this along with other things, and they intend to enslave the world under their craziness. They intend to break the people, break everything, and make everybody depend on them. Yeah, in my opinion, Elon is going his AI. Nobody cares. That is the wild thing. I went to hacker groups that I used to associate back in the 90s and the early 2000s before we all got kind of scattered after 2001, and like everybody ignores. They just have this like love affair for Elon and ignore that his AI, like his closed source, his AI could be lying its face off. Like you listen to the facts that Mr. T was giving, these money going to this place, this for this and that could all be made up shit by the AI. That could all be made up, and then you ask it to double check and it comes back with the same shit. See, the thing of AI is it can be a liar. Its whole purpose could be to play the whole lie, and what great way than to play one with these cults, the Seven Mountains, the Moonies, the 1666, the ones that, it's coming from both sides, Christian, Jew, like it's there. And Trump is being played to believe all this because all these ones are lifting up the same there. They all are wanting to go to the same place. And it is this world where they rule. And they know the hardship coming. They blame it on the humans. So then when it hits, they can say, we warned you, but it's a repeating cycle. So then they can put restrictions on you and different things and play this insaneness on people. Well, it's all run behind the culture of face culture. I know a lot of Americans, like Elon can sit there and lie to you, but because of face culture, it's cool. It's all right. He can do it. It's normal to him because it's all for the objective, all for the greater good. And like China, it's a shithole now. So let's go strip mine rare earth. Let's just dig, drill, fight, and all this bullshit to then turn North America into a shithole like China for the profits of these few. Well, humans are then, the unions are broken, minimum wage is gone. You're back to like Chinese wage, Indian wage, Filipino wage. You all become just good enough to work the machines and dumb enough to take the orders and the AI like bullshit that's fed to you. And so they work you like that. And so they break your whole country down. And all countries are worth is their minerals and their thing, not the people, not their betterment, nothing like that. Not truth, not anything of how, like what benefits people. They want to go to Mars. This is their goal. And the main goal is like, they say, well, we'll get people to Mars. We'll send Susie Q to Mars. We'll eventually get it up to 6 months or different other bullshits. But their main thing is like Elon working with Craig Venter's fucking shit where they want to grow humans there. Grow them so they're adaptable for the atmosphere. They're using humans as guinea pigs for their insanity of this fantasy, of this game that they play. They can't even establish humans on the moon. Well, they're thinking of establishing them on place where, oh yeah, sure, that's going on. We have AI, we have deepfakes. They could be playing us weekly with broadcasts from Mars while they're siphoning billions for, hookers and coke. Like we're all sitting there. Oh, isn't that amazing? What's their name? Well, they had taken out those astronauts in the back of the head. Well, they have a deepfake going on. Oh yes, our brave warriors in the planet Mars. So now with funding of $7 trillion to our galactic Mars Federation for the mining. Yeah, it's all about money, dumbing down humans and enslaving them under this fucking cult madness. Where you got to believe that their shiny one, their Metatron, their Zohar Kabbalah God is the only one. And if you say otherwise, we're going to take you out and fucking do it with you like we did the Mars astronauts. Oh yeah, fuck man, everybody's right on the edge of truth, but it's like they hold on to these ideologies of these fucking idols like Elon and shit. Like a closed source AI running through the whole information could be all bullshit. All fucking bullshit. These fantasies, because we're all fed this shit by Alex Jones, all these conspiracies. Yeah, governments, yeah, they do waste, but it's making these ones want to gut your government, get rid of it all, and put their own people in like they did during World War II in Germany. It's the same cult. They just call themselves by different names. It's the same one. Like Indiana Jones said, it's fucking Nazis. Over and over. Babylonians. The ones wanting to bring this shiny one, this Metatron, they believed in a deceiving spirit to test them, and they fell for it. Well, they're only going to give birth to this evil that is using them to set itself free. Oh, you crazy, crazy. Really, they're fucking cults, and they're in the government. These people, yeah, they have their ideas of God. Some of them will say they believe in Jesus, but it's not the only begotten Son, Jesus. It's this, Jesus was a dude walking along and became possessed by God's Spirit. This one that started with Enoch, So it hops, boop, 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 and they're waiting for their final Messiah, the Metatron, the shiny one, to show up. So when they say, yes, you can believe in Jesus, but he's not the only begotten one. So when you get these ones like, the Seven Mountains one, they believe that Jesus isn't the only begotten Son. So Paula White and all them hanging around licking all Trumpy's ballsack. Hey, Mr. T. Does she swallow good there, Mr. T? I take it she swallows a lot of bullshit if she thinks that saying no to you is saying no to God. Because fucked if I would fucking put you at any level with God or above God. Of any of you. Because there is only one God. You're going to answer to him just like me and everyone else. So, yeah, I would rather be, putting him forth as God, not you. Hey, I would. But you want to put her up on a pedestal of authority. Makes me wonder how deep that cult is. Because none of them are opposing Elon's AI. Any government, one on the left, they can demand, freedom of information, they can, yeah, but it's all a game. While the wise sleep, this cult moves. And it's like a glacier. They take their time. I listen to, oh yes, they play left and right. They're just a Babylonian vile cult that wants doom. And what interferes with their way of moving forward is the way humans are now. So they know this decade of woe is coming, along with them planning economic collapse so that things are harder and people's hearts are, in pain and divided and hatred and war. And then you have unrest and different things because of sickness like they did before the 1930s and that. And so they bring this about again. They know this. And so they repeat it using Muppets on the left and the right, playing both sides and making people have blind trust with these ones like Elon, like Alex Jones, like Canadians. They now, a lot of them, they can't get, if you're in Canada, and you Google different news stories, and any of them are on Facebook, like anything, it won't show it to you. Social media. They don't get the news. They get their news basically from the two news networks, maybe three there, of what Canada gets, and it's a repeating of us versus Trump now. And even though Canada is not what it used to be, it's been watered down with a lot of imported ones. But the ones that used to be, they're like the Hulk, these Scots, these Vikings, these ones. And when they get angry, they get like the Hulk, where they don't think, need destroy. And these ones want to do this and play these ones into a position of hardship and pain and people losing their homes and losing things, and it's all pushed on the Americans and Trump. And so these ones come in, these globalists offering help and then offering so-called military support if they go against Americans and start killing them. And they've done it before. They burnt down the White House. They did different things. They recognized ones like the Alexander Keiths family and that tried a bio attack on northern states. They would attack. They would rip open the prisons, and they were helping the Confederates at that time against, the Union. So if they divide America, and then one's working, they want you to turn into a situation where they can destroy America. And they play you, look, see, the left's wasting, the left's this, all this data that could be coming out of this AI of the praised, Department of Efficient, this bullshit there that they think is, going to bring them into the golden age of this. It could be all bullshit fed to them. And I believe it is. And I believe Elon is betraying, and he's going to betray Trump publicly. And this will be publicly. These facts that, will all be seen as bullshit, that the AI just used it all to weaken America, to weaken the whole trust of America, to isolate it, and then drive the world into a situation where they would desire to attack Americans and kill them, and in hopes that America will lose its mind and nuke places and attack places. All to bring about this cult's desire going into the 2030s to enslave every human being under this global, union, this global order, under these cults, where they eventually push everyone under Noahide laws and, certain aspects where you have to walk as the central religious order, that everything has to be as, these seven mountains, these cults say. Otherwise, they believe that their Messiah, their great power won't show up. So you're either going to go along with it or else, as Steve Bannon says, victory or death. And so that cult plays everyone. But the wise and even the foolish wake up on one day. And I believe it's soon, because this whole Babylonian cult are really desiring the deaths of millions of human beings by manipulating people against each other who initially wouldn't hate each other, but they need brother against brother, nation against nation, to bring about in hopes that they will have their shiny one, their Metatron, their Zohar, Kabbalah, utopian white, wet green. That's what they hope for, these cults. The Moonies, the Seven Mountains, the 1666 cult. They're all believing that they have to do things to bring about their 1,000 years of rule and reign with their Messiah. There's many of them, and they sit in places of power, and they have their Muppets and their dogs and their liars. They're everywhere. Beware what the media tells you. Beware what these ones that seem like heroes are doing, because they could be having you wishing in one hand while shitting in the other, and all that's going to show up is a pile of shit, because they're playing you with fantasy, and they're playing you into a great lie that is going to shake the world, and the world will cry for peace and security, because they won't know who to trust. All these ones are going to birth something they won't like, because what they give birth to will destroy them first. Yep, they all fall on one day. For those that may hear, I know many people will not believe this till after it happens. So, hey, I don't want it to happen, but the 2030s are going to be a hard time. If you can start now and just preparing, like having yourself, knowing, giving an average of what you would need and different things, but make sure you do it in a way that you don't create much notice of yourself because others around you that do not prepare. Because remember, the foolish even go to the wise wanting what the wise have. And so just prepare yourself because you don't know how long after, like within that decade of woe, that things may change for the better for America and North America. So build up yourself a way of food, different things over these times, taking a percentage of what you have just to have, but also have it in a way that you're storing. If you have a little room, yeah, I don't know if you could work together with people just to have an ability to have enough supplies to last 10 years within, and have fishing rods, have different things that how to also live, but just know it's going to be really hard. You might say, well, I can grow a garden, but then you have to create an ability to protect that garden from static storms. They're static storms that will drift and they'll cook your garden. You won't have anything. So you have to create an ability like maybe electroculture that then it's like putting, like lightning rods so that it makes sure the static doesn't fry your vegetables, I'm trying to say. So look into these things, look into what you may need in water, food, because you don't want to be like a whole state that eats dandelions for 2 years or needing to pickle and preserve tumbleweeds because you have nothing else to eat. You don't want to be in that position. I know they're not telling you that this is coming, but this is a repeating cycle. And they have fed you a lot of horseshit about global warming and shit like that due to fossil fuels, greenhouse effects. See, this group knows this time is coming, so they're going to spin this back onto you. They're not going to tell you it's a repeating cycle, like solar cycle, like the spring showing up every year. This shows up every 100 years. So yeah, you just have to prepare and be ready because these ones are going to use it to try to enslave the world also under their system, while others are starving to death because of the system. For this cult had no problem starving 10 million people in China under false economic and bullshit reasons. So yeah, they're a vile cult. I mean, they've been vile through history. So just beware and take note when old Mr. Elon Judas Musk, because I got the strongest vibes off that guy. That guy's nothing but Lex Luthor. He's not Iron Man. He is Lex Luthor, even darker. He is nothing but a Muppet playing sides against each other in hopes to bring down both for his shit and giggles. He's a dog chasing a car. He'd never know what to do with the world, but he enjoys what he's doing. That is my opinion. And it will come out. I get the face culture protects him, along with a lot of bag lickers. Be wary. The cult is real. But I know, some lone guy in the middle of the woods, the thong ninja, is telling you this, so why the fuck would you believe that what someone considered crazy? I know. But hey, when it all happens, you can't say you weren't warned, right? Come on. You can't say to God you weren't warned. Medium has helped them so much. Videos, deepfakes, AI. Wow, that's even greater for them. Especially the AI when people just blindly trust whatever the fuck its data it's giving out. And it ain't even open source. That blows my mind, man. Nobody's fucking looking at it. That thing can be programmed. Mama Musk could be smuggling fucking, algorithm codes, updates, the whole fucking shit and caboodle of this AI upper cooter from fucking China every month and giving it to her fucking son. Yet we can't see any of these updates. We can't see the open source of the fucking code. We can't see the direction in which this AI is even programmed. Yet we're supposed to believe that all this shit that it's spitting out and that, the Democrats were giving money to this country doesn't even exist. Look how much. Wait, yeah, we're supposed to believe all this. And people are blindly fucking trust. Yeah, this is a revenge of the nerds, man. They want their utopia and their fucking bio-Borg life and shit like that. We're all hooked up to a fucking AI. The AI is going because it's so smart. It's just cooking a frog in a pot of water. You just turn up the heat slowly and they'll just sit there and accept it until they die. So that's the way it's going to be if people don't wake up. But they'll wake up, the wise and the foolish. It's just sad watching people so blindly, like Mr. T, Joe, and so many others, just walk down that path that the only thing at the end is a cliff, and they're being played to walk off it. All right? Hey, beautiful. It's going to be wild. I hope people that they do prepare for that 10 years. I'm not going, this is a repeating thing. You can research it yourself. Go read about the 1930s. Read the actual testimonies. Just don't trust YouTube to be handing you stuff. You have to actually go and go beyond what is just the basic feed that they give you, because they want you to believe that fossil fuels and all this is creating the heat and everything. But this warming cycle is a common 100-year cycle. That happened in the 1730s, the 1630s, the 1830s, the 1930s. So I'm going by that. Just like if spring happens every year, I know that it's going to show up. I can't sit there and say that the reason this season of spring happens is because people are, using their vehicles and shit. You get what I mean? So they're going to play you. They want to enslave you. They want to use that, the whole thing. So expect financial collapse, because that's what they're wanting right now. Expect war, world war, and a sickness, a plague event at the same time. They want it all kind of bottled up. So when it enters the 2030s that way, so in the hardship of that time, they can bring about the enslavement of humans. So, and Joe, because I bet you a pre-roll that Elon Musk will betray America and will betray Mr. T publicly. He will be happy. He will laugh about it. This will be something he will be proud of doing. And in my opinion, the AI is the tool that he's doing this with, and it will be seen. And because of everybody's blind faith and bag licking of Elon, he is able to do this. And because of his manipulation of people and his games behind the face culture, everybody has thought he's a hero, when all he is somebody that should have never been trusted in the beginning. I bet you a pre-roll there, Joe. Even though you may think I'm stupid, hey, time will tell, won't it, Joe? Will you swallow that ego then and admit that Elon fucking played you and everyone else, and that you should maybe be more critical and not so open to swallowing the Kool-Aid from the cult? But anyway, later. I love you, beautiful. Stay safe.
Loki! Turn off the Tesseract or I'll destroy it.
You can't. There is no stopping it. There is only the war.
So be it. Look at this! Look around you! You think this madness will end with your rule?